A few years ago, tire inserts were all the craze. These foam inserts surrounded your rim, saving it from cracks and dents. They also dampened trail chatter and provided sidewall support, which many riders claimed made their race times faster. Most EWS and downhill riders were found riding and enjoying an insert. Today, the insert craze has died down a little. Many DH riders ride no insert at all due to concerns about unsprung mass, the prevalence of stiffer DH casing tires, and a desire to actually have a little bit of sidewall flex, which should help with traction. However, these are professionals who are not using an insert. Their rims are free. Are your rims free? Yeah, probably not. I know mine aren't. There's a market gap for a less invasive tire insert that still protects your rims and still protects your wallet. You want to keep the characteristics of the tire while still protecting the rim. RimSaver, a small company out of Vermont, seeks to give you all the benefits of a foam tire insert without any of the changes in behavior that they cause. In this review, I'll give you my thoughts on the RimSaver after installing them, riding on them, and racing on them. I've done everything from blue flow trails to double black bike park. First, let's talk about the benefits of RimSaver. So rims are expensive. Racers may not be using an insert, but their rims are free. Every time I ding a rim, it is time spent off my one and only enduro bike, although I did just get an e-bike, but I used to only have one bike, and I know a lot of you only have one bike. So when you can't ride it, it's a bummer. And then let's say I can get a new rim. Okay, cool. So I get a new aluminum rim. That might be $250. And then it's another $150 in labor to lace it up to my hub. Even with a warranty on my nice like carbon WeAre1 wheel, I still don't want to break it because that's just time off bike. So why run a RimSaver specifically instead of just a regular foam tire insert? Well, the RimSaver has a much narrower profile, which means that it absorbs less in the course of an everyday event. You know, like a CushCore, like a big foam insert, every time you pedal, the tire's pressing on that foam insert, the foam is absorbing some sort of energy. With the RimSaver, you don't have this, and this is just my subjective opinion, but I felt like I could explode out of corners just a little bit better, and I did feel like they were slightly more efficient climbing. Not a huge difference though. One confounding variable here is that you cannot run lower pressures when you're riding a RimSaver. They don't like act as much of a spacer inside your wheel as like a CushCore might. So you still have to run regular tire pressures. And for me, a 185-pound dude, that means I'm riding like 30, 32 PSI for bike park in the rear, 25 in the front. Still, I did an enduro race on this and it was my best result yet, and I felt like I could really explode out of the corners. During that race, I also felt like my wheels held up and didn't take much damage. I definitely pinged the wheel there multiple times. When I'm not racing, I'm more careful about my line selection, but like I was trying to win. I didn't, but I was trying. And I definitely pinged the rim probably about 5 times in that race. Another benefit of the RimSaver is that you can throw a tube over it if you flat your tire. Keep in mind that this is with the newer model of RimSaver. Please verify the model of RimSaver before you're buying it, because I had a tester model. I know it was coming out soon, but I'm not a wizard. I can't predict when it's going to come out. Finally, RimSaver claims that installation is easier, and I'm not going to spend much time on this. It's easier. I didn't have really any trouble getting the RimSaver in. The main problem is just beating up the Continental tire since it's so dang stiff. I'm still getting better at beating up tires, like it is a skill. So yeah, that was like 10 times harder than dealing with the RimSaver. But I'll say this, you need to watch his installation video closely. Just sit down, put your phone away, or if you're watching on your phone, as many of you are, look at just your phone, don't skip ahead, watch the entire video. Because there's a technique to it where you lock in the RimSaver with your elbows and then put it on the rim. And like that's the most important part of the technique. So the last pro about the RimSaver, I can't speak as much to. I'm not like an elite downhill rider. I'm like a mid-pack enduro finisher. So I'm at the local series. So I'm not doing anything crazy here. But the pros are kind of thinking right now that a little bit of sidewall flex is actually good for traction. Ryan Burney, the founder of RimSaver, really feels this way. He loves the feel of RimSavers over like a tire insert. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. A bit more natural of a feeling, and you can Schwalbe them. Okay, so good products are all about trade-offs. Now let's talk about the cons of rim saver. I will say I used to ride Tannis. I liked my Tannis inserts, and they really do give you that like soft Cadillac feeling and dampen a ton of the trail chatter. The ride feeling on a foam insert is just noticeably more plush. I really noticed this on the first day I took my foam inserts out and put my rim savers in, but in the coming days after that, I just got used to it. I didn't really feel like the harshness of the rim saver, and it's not harshness, it's just how a regular tire feels, right? I'd just gotten used to the foam insert. I didn't really feel like it affected me. Arm pump felt pretty similar, but there probably is some benefit to running a foam insert for those really long park days. Speaking of park days, you can run flat on a foam insert. So when you get a flat tire, you can just ride down on it. You gotta be gentle with the rim. You're not setting any KOMs here. But that was a really big benefit for me at the bike park. I don't wanna have to carry a tube. I don't wanna have to fiddle with a tube. I just wanna ride down, throw a new tire on, because that's what I need to do to get riding again quickly. Sidewall support is a pro or a con, depending on who you ask. Most Elite Pro DH riders aren't running an insert anymore, so I'll say that it's like a con for the foam, but if you asked them 3 years ago, they would say they love the sidewall support. So opinions change and people follow the crowd. And right now the crowd is kind of leaning towards not running any inserts, and race times are showing that that's faster. So let's wrap things up here. Rim savers feel like a normal tubeless tire while providing protection equivalent to an insert. They roll better than a foam insert, and you can put a tube over them in emergencies. However, you cannot run flat on them. They're a bit easier to install, and they're priced competitively. I think the Rim Saver is a novel new design targeted at trail riders who want to maximize their time on bike and minimize the headaches in dealing with a broken rim. However, I personally don't see myself riding them during park season because I really want the ability to just run flat and put a new tire in there at the bottom. I think when bike park season's over, I'll probably return to running the Rim Savers, but during park season, I can't spend all my time swapping these things out constantly, so I'll keep a foam insert in there. I'm not going to rate this product because it is a unique new entry to the market that inherently provides value where other products don't. It's not like I can compare it to another foam insert and rate them 1 through 10. This product really is one of a kind, and I think it does fill a useful niche in the market. So if you're a trail rider looking for simple, no-nonsense protection, I would recommend the Rim Saver for you. If you're a park rider who does long days at the bike park, I might stick with your foam insert for the ability to run flat and the added plushness that might reduce some of your hand fatigue.